One, two, one, two. Yeah, I'm up late night or early morning, depending on your perspective of said date or zero time, man. Just because time just went past doesn't make that negative time. uh, yeah, Volothan modulus tautology, and I'm kind of losing it like all the rest of y'all. So, what you're seeing here is Samurai Jack battle through time. uh, this game is available on Apple Arcade. I figured I'd just let it run and demo in the back while I do the quick rap with y'all. I don't know if I can make 30 minutes of this, because it's not complicated. It's just, when you realize how bad it is, it gets. It's not frustrating. It is the conversation has to go face to face, right? Like I grew up in the Catholic church. Right, my mom took me to a Catholic church. We went to a Catholic school instead of going to the public school. So, myself and the Collins next door. Shout out to them, Mike and Kurt. Cool dudes. Even Eric and Richie up the street. Just rest in peace to Big E. And all his sisters. And I don't know if all, maybe all of them. Well, one of them was Poochie, and them was kind of older, so I don't think they ever went to. When they moved around there, Eric was already in like the 7th or 8th grade or something like that, and I was like 2 grades behind him or 3 grades behind, 2 grades behind him, I think. Well, anyway, long story short, and then Byron Ronald, rest in peace, and Darren went to the public school. So we knew, of people in the public school system and vice versa, and plus we all in the same neighborhood anyhow. That's just how it works. So shout out to all my uptown family, But the see how easy you can get off topic. But so Catholic school. So we used to have to attend church, and the goal was to get confirmed and yada yada. I didn't get confirmed. But one of the things you had to do in Catholic school was you had to confess your sins. Now you could either have that face to face, or you could have a screen in between you. Those were the only 2 options, I think, where you didn't, see the pastor. It was screen between you, but then there was other ones where you could look and talk face to face or whatever. I say all that to say this, like it is a way of trying to differentiate between the first, second, and third perspective. Now it's weird because let me start a little bit of this game right here. All right, so. I already started this. I don't know. Press X or Y. Who knows? Who cares? I already played a little bit of this on my phone. I got pretty far, but I guess it didn't save and transfer to the other device. See, like that's what's cool about these Apple devices. Now again, I'm doing some kind of, what person is, perspective are we viewing this? So this is on Apple TV, right? I also have it on. I was telling a little bit of story. I also have it on my phone. It should be the same version. Now I could technically play it on my phone and connect it to my Apple TV and still record it the way I'm recording it. But then therein is a little. It might be a little delay, depending on how strong your bandwidth or whatever is on your because it doesn't do it directly connected. It does it through your Wi-Fi, which is weird, right? It should be able to just do it direct connect. That's where I think the switch is going to change a little bit, because you can connect links, like you can link two switches together directly. Now it's only a matter of time for when Nintendo finally utilizes this feature in a way so that yes, if you have I think Switch 2 is going to be better at it. If you have two switches or two Switch 2s, it's going to be a tighter connection between the two without the use of Wi-Fi. Hence, you have dual screens. But in order to get that effect, you have to be able to afford two Switch 2s. Most people already have Switch 1, so I think they're kind of semi-experimenting with it. That's why they're not really pressed to sell a bunch of Switch 2s. It's try to maximize the amount of Switch 1s that people have in their homes. Then they can slowly implement this idea of the dual screen again that they first created with the Nintendo DS. So I don't know what's going on with this thing right now.
I must put an end to this madness.
All right. I said all that to say this. All. What's this say? Okay. All right. So yeah, here it is. Right. It's a cool looking game, right? It's 3D. It's cartoon drawn, and this is Samurai Jack. Oh. Yeah, attacked me already. Alright, cool. So yeah, this is Samurai Jack. He has a sword. That's what samurais do. And you fight and all this other stuff, and you're in a foreign land, and got craters and stuff. It's basically a tap, tap, tap. You got different combinations. It's a 3D. It's a third person perspective, right? So I see him, and there's someone or something controlling the camera. When Mario did it, it was Loku, I think his name is, Aliki. So that made it a, third person. That's what this is called. This is called third person. All right. Now, first person would be to see through his eyes. This is the way computers kind of break it down, right? So it will be to see through. I don't think I got an option for that. Let me see. I'm trying to see if there's an option for that. See if we got a first person perspective. Fire, quick dodge, move, no, record, skills. Let's see, it's kind of dope, right? So he had to clean himself up. You can fight with your hands or the sword. We live by the sword. Game center. I guess you can connect. Focus menu. Focus. No, it doesn't look like I have it. But that's cool, But first person would be Doom is in y'all don't know what Doom is. That's my problem right there. I'm trying to think of a game that's that popular as a first person game that the non-gamer would know as soon as I say it. Like Doom should be that game. But I'm dealing with family members that don't know what Doom is, and that's mostly I'm talking about my baby boomer, aunties, uncles, my parents, basically. send my son to try to explain it to him, but even he doesn't play first person games, you know. But Doom. I'm trying to think of another one. Wolfenstein. There's a whole bunch of them. I can't think. It doesn't matter. I'll demonstrate some Doom. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll probably play Doom next. And there it is. So, you know, it's going through teaching me the game. I already been through all this. I'm kind of mad I lost that save state. Oh, okay. And there it is. So I say all that to, like, I get the confusion. You know, when we say, you know, when Donald Trump said it's only he or she, there's only two genders, right? It kills the third person, right? They wanted the third person to be they, something outside of he or she, and it's like, nah. That's why they go non-binary, like, and that's not what binary means. It doesn't mean he's 0, she's 1, or she's 0, he's 1. Both are 1, or both are 0. When you go with standard grammatical understanding of pronouns, first person is I. That's singular. Just because it's singular, if I'm sitting and I'm rapping to you, you are a I too. It's just that I as myself will address it as you singular. You is still second person outside of I, but we're both I's in the same space. So I times I is still I. I plus I is 2 I's. Operations is still the same mathematically. It's just now when we identify what 2 is, we're dealing with population, right? But when I times I'm just using those two because those are only really two operators in mathematics. The magnitude is still I. That magnitude isn't greater than I, but we see the population of I plus I equal to 2 I's as being greater than a single I. Therein, the population being more than 1 I, we're now grammatically talking, grammatically using mathematics talking about we or us. Like, even though I say we or us, I and I, we're still, the magnitude is still the same. The population is 2, 3, 4, depending on the number of I's in that square, circle, square, whatever, geometric figure y'all want to stand in, you know what I mean? But you need different points in order to generate the different geometric figures. So when it's 3, it's the geometric figure is a triangle. When it's 4, the geometric symbol is a square. When it's 5, the geometric figure is a pentagon. And we can stand along the same plane. It's when you get into this diversity, equity, inclusion, and I'm just keeping it real, and we know where it came from, of you're not including me because I am neither he or she. I am neither I. So it is, if you're not an I, then what are you, a zero? But that's what that's the perspective that they are going to take, being outside of the first person. Right? They're their own first person, and they can be crazy, whatever. They're free to do, right? Outside of the laws that I, being plural, we, us, came up with, or that God gave us. Actually, that's the part that we, you know what I mean, because we recognize them as the Ten Commandments. That's why once I start getting into, okay, what is the law, and you start talking the Ten Commandments, and I go, the first commandment is love God, right? Or some people say that one God. The commandment is love God, right? It's one God, love. That's the first commandment. When you have people that want to add on to that, and it's something outside of a verb, right? The verb would be to be or is, right? So God is love, we agree upon. Or love is God, we agree upon. Someone outside of that wants to go, not, like a little child. Therein you have the trying to create an argument between us, we, the, the, the people that see eye to eye, I and I. We agree that God is love. We agree that love is God. Once you have somebody that comes outside of that and says, not God. God is not love. No, not God is love. Love, not God. Right? Talking crazy for attention. It's, all right, cool. We like, but y'all know the conversation has to change and let them be. Then once they leave, we can get back on code with one God love. Right? Second, you. That second person. Then it gets confusing because you can or you do or don't have to be in the space of the second person. And that's where it gets a little confusing because I is understood. So it's you, singular, you, plural. That second person, that's it. There's nothing else more than that. That's it. You, singular, you, plural. I is understood because the product is still going to be the same magnitude when you bring an I into this conversation, right? It's going to be still the same. Yes, if you bring the I, if you add the I, then the population depends on how many eyes are in the building, right? That you're referring to as you. But even though I and you is what Malcolm X, that's why I have to bring up Malcolm X, because that's Malcolm X was the beginning of quote unquote the left, because Malcolm X went before a bunch of conservatives. Like that was the beginning of what the terminology conservative meant. It was Malcolm X going in front of white nationalists saying, okay, y'all are white nationalists, I am a black nationalist, you and I. Like, we're not enemies. It's the liberals that keep saying they're going to help me build my black nation, but they're not there to build my black nation. They're here to sabotage me building my black nation. And that's what's still going on today.
Got to find Aku, quick.
Now, third person. It's funny to me that I gotta explain it like this, right? Third person is he, she, it. Right? And I ain't mean for that to come out sounding like a curse word. And then that's single. So you pointing he. That's that person over there. You and I are having a conversation about him or her or it. Third person. I'm pointing at them. He, she, over there. They all the way over there. Right? I have to actually point. Now, they might get offended that I'm pointing at them because they want to be included in the conversation. And as I'm not excluding them. Once they come over, then they become a part of either you or I. Third person is kind of the illusion. Like I say, this is third person is kind of the illusion because someone is controlling the camera. So they're trying to. So what I think they're doing, I don't even know what's going on. What was I doing? I was just running around and, showing some gameplay and showing how cool he is as a samurai. I might have to make that the title screen. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of hot. Yeah, I might make that the title screen. So anyway, there it is. And it's like, I still don't get it. I mean, go back to third grade, right? It's when y'all start teaching the third graders. No, it can be they or they second period or third fourth. No. It's the construct. As soon as you make it he or she as being the third person, even though third person is an out of body, out of I in third person becomes you once I engages third person, and once it's understood on what I is, they become I's. That's why separation from God is an illusion. God is the capital I. We are the lowercase i's. No. I feel as though I gotta have that conversation again. First commandment, love God. Second commandment, God love. Well, first commandment, love God. You can say it, God love. Whatever. I'm just using two words. Second commandment, respect Lord. Now, whole nother, you know what I mean? Because what about respect lady? You know what I mean? Lady is actually 3, which is seek wisdom. But we'll deal with that later. What else is there? I mean, that's pretty much it. It gets frustrating. Not for me. I'll explain it again and again, but, like I said, you're dealing with people that, and I was talking about, I did that long enough to get my photo shot of the thing. I just did all that because I'm hearing this Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be a Bonnie and Clyde thing. It gives them an opportunity to create the second person where you control either Bonnie or Clyde, and they're always right over the shoulder of the other person, making it a second person perspective. It sounds weird, right? But that will be a true you experience. Like, you are controlling the third person beside the first person perspective. hence he could be in a fight and then she'll come. So you're seeing it through her eyes, creeping up behind the enemy and stabbing him in the back, type of a thing. Like that's kind of ill, but whatever. And then that's when the algorithm hears me and goes, he's talking about stabbing people in the back. Like, I'm using a katana sword in this game right here. Fair use. I was just demoing this game a little bit for educational purposes. As you can see, I fight these little metal things and everything. And this is a samurai. Samurais, ninjas, and monks are three different things, but they all practice the same martial arts, which is an Eastern philosophy, a Far East philosophy. We give China, Japan, that area, region of Asia, the first prior order. They get the props for creating these. I'm not saying mythical to be disrespectful, because we see them as being, superpower people, super warriors, We'll get more to the Western side, like the knights, paladins, and warriors later. And we as American, we adapted them when we should be having Native Indians, but their skin tone can be a lot darker than what we put them to be, They're the light, or more light skin being, or yellowish, or beige, almond, right? Tint, right? Almond is the new red skin, should I say, right? Or golden, right? Golden skin, I guess. And there it is, But we have to be careful, because gold idols are
Got to find Aku quick.
a sin, right? So, or worshiping false idols, right? Like a gold statue. Because the first one is love God, our Father, art of time, hip hop life, love one, and I'm gonna say motherhood. Because the children are watching y'all, and y'all fighting all over the place. That's what the children see. You're messing up the children. Right? It's like fatherhood is fighting all this, and not really. Right? If that father doesn't want to take care of his children, he wants to be over there and whatever. He has a deal with the baby mama where he cuts a check or whatever for her. That's between them. Right? Me and my son, we out there playing basketball, and one of their kids want to come play basketball with us, we'll play basketball with them. Right? Because that's what we're supposed to do. She shouldn't be considered a widow. A widow is something next level, because they lost their husband to the war. A widower would be a male that lost his wife to the war. So then we're allowed to help them. That wouldn't be disrespectful to the dad, But a lot of y'all are jumping in and being disrespectful to the dad, when the dad is like, yo, I'm right here. Me and the boy, we out here flying a kite with his deadbeat, with his children, right? And it's like, are you asking for donations or praise for helping another woman who has a baby daddy, and he's, you're judging him because he's somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Or y'all two can't get along, and it's like, we get along, I and I, but right? If he thinks it's better to not, play chess with his children, or not go bowling with his children, or not fly a kite with his children, or not read books. Father Read 365, shout out to Brent. Ain't nothing I can do about it. All I can do is say, Brent, these children need help reading. You know what I mean? And let me get some of your business cards so I can give out to some of these ladies out there. Like, you know what I mean? Or, hey, I got some free time to help you or whatever. I got some, let me know, let me and my son know we can show up to help read with y'all because I'm trying to get him to read Harry Potter. But you know, the first Harry Potter is a children's book. It's a book that you want that. See, now I'm saying they, but it's actually us because I want him to grow up reading alongside. You know what I mean? It goes through the years 13, 12, 13, 14, 15. You know, and as he matures, the books mature. You know what I mean? At first, it's a little bit of witchcraft. You know what I mean? Then it gets into relationships, and it gets more and more technical. You know, I know I'm over my time. Am I perfect? 31 minutes. I'm a little over my time, but I think I made some progress with that right there. You know, as you can see, it jumped in right into there. All right, I'm gonna end on that note. Um, love God, our Father, all the time. Hip hop life. Love one, motherhood. That is, God is love, hip hop is life, time is holy, right? Appreciate, Sabbath day is for. Make it today if you didn't get a chance this past Saturday or Sunday or Friday or whatever day you normally respect it as. Um, Sometimes you have to, rotate it a little bit because, we got to put that work in there and get that work done. I'm about to go back to sleep. But I was up, so it was on my mind. Let me record this, put it out there in space, and I'll be back with more. Breaking down how money is nothing more than a fourth dimensional illusion that really doesn't exist. If you have to choose between God and money, choose God. You choosing money is kind of weird. There's so many references in the biblical text of how dangerous it is to choose money over God, right? Because you're going to end up loving one and hating the other. Love is strong, hate is weak. So money is the fourth dimensional illusion that really doesn't exist. Economics is the art of making the most out of life. Microeconomics is making the most dollars out of 15 cents. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it.